Hi, it's been a while, I know. A lot of crazy stuff's been going on in my personal world. Um, Today, I've been wanting to do videos and been doing a few videos about being happy and making your life better. And today was a prime example of a moment that I turned around myself and thought it's a poignant lesson for people to learn or try to do. And it's so simple. Case scenario, I'm out working out my yard and my garden, and I have a pretty good sized property that takes a lot of care, honestly. My husband refers to it as my other job because it spends hours every day doing it, which is fine. I love to. But it started raining, and I live in Iowa, and it has just rained and rained and rained in Iowa really all spring, summer. I mean, it's been one of the rainiest seasons we've had on record. Flooding, so on and so forth. And I was so frustrated because, I'm my family's out of town. I'm hanging out by myself, just kind of enjoying a week of solitude, and I do love to be outside. And I just literally has started a project, and really out of the blue, this rainstorm comes because when I walked out, it was sunny. Oh my God, I was so frustrated. I was cursing, and I'm like, God darn it! And I throw my shovel and bucket down, and I grab all my dogs, and we run in the house because by this time it's pouring. That's why I'm wet. And I get in the house. And I come into my living room, and you can see we have a gazebo deck. That's what the deck is that you see behind me. It's literally an 8-sided gazebo. It's an octagon. It's a pretty cool deck, honestly. But I looked out my back door into the gazebo deck, and of course I can see the trees and the rain. And the rain was beautiful, honestly. It was really pretty. And it's thundering. It's got that nice rolly, not the big bang scary, but the nice rolly thunder. And I thought, why don't you just go sit on your deck and just enjoy this moment? You're by yourself. You got your puppies around you. It's raining. There's not a whole lot you can do outside right now, so suck it up, Cupcake. Just go outside. And so that's what I did. I went outside, and I'm sitting right now on the deck, and all of a sudden I thought, this is a good moment to make a video. Because on the one hand, I was super irritated, and literally in the blink of an eye, I had the thought, go sit on your deck and enjoy this moment. And my whole attitude changed on a dime. I mean, I literally went from being irritated to, oh my God, it's so beautiful out here. And oh, that rain's so pretty. And oh, I love that thunder. La, 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 la. And I thought, that's a valuable lesson. And the lesson is, everything negative is not always negative. A lot of people are so down and so depressed and so upset about life and everything that they literally see everything as negative because really that's all they know. That's what their life has been. It's just been a big negative. And so they tend to see everything in a negative light. And the truth of the matter is, I wish I could remember the exact phrase, but the gist of the phrase is, we can't control what happens. We control our reaction to what happens. And that's whoever came up with that's brilliant, because that is one of the most fundamental, important phrases a person can ever know and live by, and it's so true. You control. You control. Just like any other thing in your life, your boss at your job, or your relationships, or your kids, or you yada yada yada. Do you? Okay. You can't control the people. You can't control the circumstances. You can't control the weather. You can't always control your job. But you can control how you react to what's happening to you. Instead of being angry about a rainstorm, another rainstorm that's, making being outside difficult, I said, why don't you enjoy the beauty of the rainstorm? Because maybe next summer it'll just be parched and dry and everything will be, brown and ugly. This year everything is just lush and green and beautiful, and I have to cut my very large property 2 times a week because it's growing so fast, and I love to cut grass, so see, that's a benefit of rain. But that's my point. You stop. When you're getting angry or upset or frustrated or whatever the negative emotion is you're experiencing at the moment, stop and register what exactly is happening and why you're having the reaction you're having. Is it really all that bad? Is what's really happening all that detrimental to your life? Is it a minor inconvenience? Is it a major inconvenience? I'm not talking about, you're in a major car wreck or your spouse hit you, or I'm not talking about things like that. I'm talking about the small things that literally accumulate into a large snowball running down a hill that tend to just take people with it. Like I said, when people are depressed or upset or just not in a good place in their life, even though they don't intend to, and that's the important thing, there's no blame here. There's no intention behind people seeing the negative and everything. It's just part of the depression. It's just part of the whole emotional thing. You just tend to see the negative in everything. Oh, there's my cat going in the background. Hi, Peanut. Whether you want to or not. So, stop. Something's happening to you. You're starting to feel that feeling inside, that stomach, that chest, wherever you start feeling that, your hands are buzzing, you're getting a headache, whatever. You're starting to have a reaction to something that you didn't control. And you can't control. And that's the tip off. No offense, if you can control something, then change it. That's an easy step. Or it's not an easy step, I'm sorry. That's minor, I shouldn't have said that. But that's something that is fixable, quickly or with time, whatever. But when you have something like a thunderstorm that's totally out of your control, twist it. What's the positive in this? What can I see positively in this moment? What people, me and my friends were just talking the other day about our children sleeping in the bed with us. And me and my husband were never proponents of that. Our children slept in cribs. I'm not criticizing anybody, so don't jump on me. If you did that, hallelujah for you. That was just never for us. I don't think that's good for a marriage. I don't think that's honestly good for children because it's very hard to get them out of the bed, as you guys know who've done it. But one of the things we were talking about was dreams and storms and things. How do you feel about your kids crawling into bed? Or, like when my husband would go away for work, my kids always wanted to sleep with me. And I will tell you, that's one of those things that I used to go, ah. And then I realized, time's short. I only have one kid left out of 5 now in the house. It went in the blink of an eye, literally in the blink of an eye. I felt like I just had children and they're almost all gone. And those are things you take what you feel is a negative. Oh, I like sleeping by myself. I enjoy when my husband or wife or whoever's gone because I like the space of the bed or whatever. You know what? You can have that later. Enjoy the moment now. Whatever the moment is now, see the positive in it now. I now have children who go, do you remember when we would come in your room and we'd have all those super secret mom talks? And, those are some of the best memories of their life. And I could have taken that negative and ruined it. I could have taken what I perceived as a negative, I don't want to sleep by myself, blah, 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 and ruined those moments where my adult children say to me, wasn't that wonderful? We had this fun. Remember all the weird things we talked about and all the blah, blah, blah. And I do remember those times because they were awesome. So you got a negative. How can you make it a positive? How can you look at whatever's upsetting you at the moment, stop your reaction, literally stop your reaction, and see, is this really that big of a deal? Is this really something for me to be upset about? Is there any good that's coming out of this moment that is, potentially now or down the road? Stop. Just stop. Take a deep breath. Relax. Evaluate the moment. And then react. And if your reaction is negative, reevaluate your reaction to see, could it be a positive? It's simple things, but when you see like this goofy thunderstorm that's already over now, when you see these goofy things happening, they can be a blessing as well. So that's my lesson for today. If you get any reaction out of that or you find that works for you, let me know. I'll be honest with you, in my Reiki practice, that's one thing I do tend to teach a little bit. And that's one of those things people react to. They say that's actually very helpful when it's back, thunder. When they have to literally stop themselves and evaluate the moment. They tend to be able to diffuse their depression, anger, frustration, whatever they're feeling at the moment, and maybe enjoy that moment. And if they don't enjoy it, at least it's not being a negative draw on them. So just try that. Let me know if it works for you, but it's just another one of those simple things. It's easy, it's in your control, and it can change your life greatly. All right. As always, thanks for watching. Have a nice rest of your year, week, life, month, whatever it's going to be. Bye.